Hey, how's it going? Rob here. The clocks have changed. It's getting dark really early, but it shouldn't stop you riding because night riding is such a different experience. It's really brilliant. I've been doing quite a bit recently and I'd really recommend it. But to ride at night, you need some decent lights. And I've read loads of posts online on forums and stuff, and a lot of people say, oh, just get a cheap bike light. It's the same as an expensive one. And loads of people sing the praises of the expensive stuff. So I thought I'd test them all, show you how they perform and give you some options for your bike lights. So let's start with this real cheap one from Amazon, $25.99, and it's advertised as 6,000 lumens. So it's pretty small. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LEDs in it. With all these things with lumens, it's really difficult, isn't it, to understand what's real and what's not real and how they rate them. But 6,000 lumens from this, I had to laugh when I saw this because look at the name of the battery. This person had one job to name this battery and they picked that name. So light number 2 is actually on my e-bike. I'll show you right now. It's by Magic Shine and it is the MJ906 SE. It's pretty compact, it's really small and discreet. Now what I love about this is it connects directly to the e-bike. I'm using it with the Bosch motor at the moment. However, there are different attachments that you can get for different motors. So there is this one here which will attach to Shimano motors, this one here which will attach to Bros motors, and there are also Yamaha cables as well. Here that goes into the light and this wires into your e-bike motor. Now depending on the motor fitment, you might need to take it to the dealer to get them to turn on the actual light. I had to with my Bosch, they had to activate the light, but it was pretty straightforward. Next up, another one from Magic Shine. This is the Montier 6500S, and this is 6,500 lumens. Here we go, so it's a pretty, decent looking light unit itself. Nice build quality, kind of heat sinks around there. It doesn't have a built-in battery, so the battery will actually need to go onto the bike frame. It's got some strap holes through the actual battery, and there's a little rubber mount on there, so it will stay nice and snug on the frame. Okay, and the final one, you might have heard about these guys already. It's from a brand called Exposure. This is it, it's all in one, which it kind of looks like, the size of a can of Coke or something. It's called an Exposure 6-pack Mark II or Mark 11, whatever, Mark II or 11, I'm not quite sure. Pretty expensive. This is £400. So again, a significant step up in price again. Now, I guess the benefit to this is that is it. It's an all-in-one. It just sits on the bars. So there's a bit of extra weight to be put in on the bars. Maximum light output on this is 5,000 lumens. The benefit is it's super neat. It's an all-in-one, just this little attachment, goes on the bars, and then there you go. That's it, that's super quick and easy. So next thing to do, let's go out on my local trails and find out which is the best one. Out in the woods, it is pitch black, a little bit scared, cannot see anything at all, so this is going to be a good test. I should also mention that I'll use the same camera settings. It's all on manual, so it won't be raising the brightness or the exposure for any of the lights at all, so it'll be just equal amongst all the shots. First up, we'll do the internal light, 1,800 lumens, this one, there you go, that's at full brightness. Pretty good with a helmet light actually. Been using this combo for quite a while. It's not like illuminating everything you can see off to the left, and to the right there's still some dark patches, but that's our reference point. Okay, let's turn him off, and then let's put on the 6,000 lumen Amazon Special. All right, it's actually not too bad. It's not the same in terms of light spread, but I'm actually surprised with how good that is. Let me turn that one off and turn on the other one. It's actually an interesting comparison because that is a 26 quid light versus a £140 light. So let's just do that again. cheap one. Now I'm looking at it, there's way more spread out of the sides, but actually I'm surprised with that cheap one. All right, so now let's go with the 6,500 lumen Magic Shine Montier 6500. Wow, that's mega. That's a massive spread, like super far into the distance. I can see right up there. That's really impressive. That is huge. I can see as far as, I don't know, 150 meters in front easily. And the spread of light is a lot wider. Just to compare that with the cheapo one again. That's at its brightest. Expensive. Cheap. Massive difference, isn't there, between those two? As you'd expect, the price is massively different as well. Okay, now let's go on to the Daddy. Super expensive one. This is the exposure. It's like 400 quid, this one. There we go, that's on its brightest setting. And actually it's pretty good, but I can see the spread of light at the left and the right isn't anywhere near as much as the Magic Shine. All right, let's just go for it again. So we'll have the cheap one, turn him off, integrated bike light. Takes a couple of seconds to fully warm up that one. It's pretty decent. And then the Montier 6500, that's mega. That is really, really good. That's the best so far. And then we'll go for the exposure. There you go. Still pretty good, but doesn't see, the spread is more like just one direction, not as wide. All right, I'm just gonna have a little ride around and see what they're like. Amazon cheap 26 quid light. The spread is not that good at all. It is more like just a torch. Massively different in my eyes. Massively higher price, 5 times the price, but you can tell the difference. It's a nicer light as well. It's more of like a natural kind of yellowy light rather than a harsh white one. Bigger setting, yeah, look at that. That's the Daddy, isn't it? That's really good. Significantly different, way more spread of light. Lights up everything from right down at the bottom to right up in the top of the trees. There we go, full bright, still pretty good. I would say, to my eye, it seems like there's a bright spot in the middle, followed by a more of like a side kind of pattern. It's not as floodlit. Still pretty good, but it's not as floodlit as the Magic Shine. So there you go, let's go back to the studio. I mean, I've looked an absolute plonker coming out with all this stuff on, honestly. I got some funny looks. Don't do this, don't be like me. Don't put stupid amount of lights on your bike. You just look like an idiot. Just get one. Let's go back to the studio and have a chat. So that was a fun little experiment in the woods with 20,000 lumens of light power. So let's go through them individually. First off, the cheapie, the Amazon 6,000 lumen special. Do you know what? Actually, if you just want a light to get you out in the dark, this is gonna work, you know? It's not got the best beam pattern. It's not the most powerful by far. It's considerably different in terms of the light output. But honestly, for 26 quid, if you just want to get out, this is pretty neat. I don't know how long the battery would last. I think this is kind of like an emergency light. If you just wanted to go out for a rip for 45 minutes, an hour in the forest and you just wanted a little bit of light, for 26 quid, it's not too bad. Now for e-bike users, that little built-in light, it just takes all of the hassle out of lights. You don't need to remember anything. As long as your e-bike battery is charged, is good to go. And it's just one of those lights that will get you out of a situation if you're caught out in the dark. You don't need to remember to take anything with you. There's zero faff, zero hassle. It's just there all the time. Now I've actually been using that for a few months, and paired with a decent helmet light is pretty good. It's not until I put these bigger ones on that I realised the difference in light output. So for the money, for 140 quid, you get zero hassle, easy to use bike light, not the most powerful in terms of light output. And it is disappointing that when you connect it to a e-bike battery, just you don't get the full power output. But for zero hassle, maintenance free, easy to live with, it's really good. Now the Magic Shine Montier 6500, this is brilliant. The light spread on here is fantastic. The output is really good. The build quality is decent. The battery pack's pretty big, so I think you can get some really long rides with this I mean, look at it, it's massive. It's a 72 watt hour battery, so it's pretty significant. There is a downside to this. There's quite a lot going on when you attach it to your bike. So you've got to strap the battery to your bike. You've got loads of cables and stuff to manage. But if you're going out on big epic rides at night and you want a ridiculous amount of light, this is amazing. The power is so impressive. Like, it literally lit up the entire forest. It looked like a star had exploded on the front of my bike, and yeah, it just looked really good. The other thing that I really like is it's USB-C powered. So that is a dual input and output. So you can plug it into pretty much any USB charger and it will charge it. But also you can actually charge other devices from it with a USB cable. There you go. I can hear it just launch up already. Yeah, it will charge any USB-C device. And finally, the Exposure 6-pack Mark 11, it's zero hassle. There's no straps, there's no cables. You just put it on your bars and you're good to go. Now the downsides, there's a bit of extra weight on your bars. You can notice it actually. And the light output, I didn't think was anywhere near as good as this one here. Not just the intensity or the amount of brightness, but also the spread. This was very much like a very directional beam, and it just kind of produced a spot in the middle, and it wasn't wide enough. And also the price is like 400 quid. So it's a very decent product, but I just can't really see too many benefits for me in spending the extra cash. Really, the only benefit that you're getting is it's just an all-in-one. It's just a really simple solution. So for me, I think this Magic Shine 6500 is the one to go for. I think in terms of like the light output, the quality of it, the price, I think, you know, it's still quite expensive, but I think what you get for your money is a very, very decent light. And actually, I do have a discount code for Magic Shine. This is not an affiliate link. This is not sponsored. I have no kind of connection with Magic Shine, but I asked them if they would do some kind of discount code, and it will save you 10% on Magic Shine Light. So like I said, I've got no affiliation with them, and this is not a paid or sponsored thing, but I thought that would be pretty cool if you're looking for a light this winter. All right, hope you liked the video. Let me know if you did like it with a thumbs up. It helps me understand what you guys like. And if you like this stuff, subscribe. I bring out weekly bike videos, so it'd be really cool to see you again. Anyway, until the next time, I'll see you soon.